Hi, this is Emma. Welcome to Emma the Misfit and Her World. I wanted to just keep you updated on this is a very short video, but I wanted to keep you updated on what I've been doing, how I've been feeling, and going into the new year. So I wanted to start off by wishing you a Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a wonderful, beautiful Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Whatever you did, I hope you had fun and enjoyed being with the family, and I hope it was a blessed one. The new year is right around the corner, and I wanted to wish you a happy new year with many blessings, good health, and all of those wonderful, amazing things. So let's stick with what happened to me this past month. I ended up getting COVID at the beginning of the month. And after that, I ended up getting strep throat. So I've been on antibiotic and stuff like that since the last 3 weeks. And it kind of spilled over on Friday when I had my bipolar tantrum that I haven't had in over 5 years. It's been that long since I've had one of those huge tantrums, but I had really lost a lot of control. Now I can blame the fact that I was sick, not feeling well, the reason why I kind of lost control, but that at the end of the day, it was really just my own fault for losing control. As a bipolar person, you don't have the luxury of ever really relaxing or putting your guard down to ever allow time for you to lose control, because the truth of the matter is when you lose control, sometimes it's hard to regain it. And when you have bipolar, you have to be able to have control constantly over yourself. Now, what happened on Friday which was Christmas Eve, the night before Christmas Eve, I should say. So that night I ended up getting into a fight with my sister and my mother and had a huge meltdown. And I locked myself in my room, said a bunch of mean, horrible, disgusting things, and then wrote on my blog about it. So don't be mad at me. But that's, again, how a person with bipolar kind of acts. So I laugh about it, but it's really not funny at all. So what ended up happening is on Saturday morning, I woke up and I was like, God, get me through. God, get me through this day. And what ended up happening is I woke up in a really good mood. And I started the day by just going forward. And what ended up happening is that my father said something. I laugh, but again, it's out of nervous energy that I laugh. And my father ended up saying something that totally triggered me, and I ended up getting really upset about it and just throwing this huge tantrum. And what ended up, by the end of the day, it was, I ended up getting myself together after crying, doing all those things. And I kind of got back together, which, I prayed to God that he had given me the strength, and he did. And, I really do have a good family support system with me. My parents and my sister are definitely 100% my rocks, and God. Without either of them, I don't know where I would be, but I am extremely blessed to have them in my life. But it was truly that moment that I realized how quickly I had gone from a normal mood to a extremely low anger, filled with anger, and just absolutely filled with anger. And that has not happened to me for a long time. So to have that happen again in such a long amount of time just I could blame the sickness, I could blame being sick, but I don't think that it was ultimately me that failed in that capacity, that I should have been able to control myself. Because as a bipolar person, you don't have control over anything or anyone. You can only learn to control yourself. So it definitely gave me a wake-up call to refresh myself on trying to find different coping skills, using different coping mechanisms that are in place, and trying to continue growing with therapy and everything. The only way that I could continue moving forward is by acknowledging my mistakes, acknowledging that I was wrong, and then talking to the people that I love about it. It extremely was so much easier once I was able to go to my sister and my mother and explain to them exactly what it was going through my mind when I did it, how I lost control. And, my mom had said, well, I'm glad that you're able to know that you were able to lose control, that you did lose control, and that it was your fault. And like I said, I could blame a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it was truly my fault because I was the one that lost control. I was the one that ended up saying a bunch of things that I did not mean, but it ended up going like that because of the fact that I had lost complete reasoning and I could not be reasoned with at that point. And that has not happened in a really long time. So it was definitely 100% my fault in that capacity. And I accept the responsibility for it. But it definitely led me to appreciate my family a lot more, because the thing is, at the end of the day, having bipolar is hard, but having family and friends and loved ones that are there for you and support you is a lot harder. And the reason I say that simply is because they don't know what you're going through and they will never truly understand, but they're trying to. And they try to do their best in being your rock, your support, being the anchor to you. And it's extremely hard to do that when the person doesn't want any help. And at that moment, I had lost all reasoning and all way of for them to try to calm me down and communicate with me. And that happens a lot with bipolar people. So it was extremely hard for me, and it was extremely hard for them. But it was easier for me and it was easier for them once I was able to come down to it and then admit that I was wrong in the whole entire situation. Now, we ended up having a wonderful time for Christmas Eve. We celebrated, we had food, and we played games, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of people, a lot of fun. The kids were here, and it was a blast. We had a really, really good time. So at the end of the day, at the end of the weekend, it was a lot of fun. But the reason why I wanted to end this year with this video is because of the fact that I am a person that suffers from bipolar. And if you suffer from bipolar or know someone that suffers from bipolar, it is not an easy task, but you are not alone. It is extremely important to always remember that you are the one that has to take complete control of this situation. And I know it's extremely hard. It's not easy. It'll never be easy. If there was one pill that you could take that would make you feel 100% better all the time, you would take it. But the truth of the matter is there is no such medication. It's a bunch of different things that you can do to try to change the way you outlook and see things. And you can also find ways with different coping skills, coping mechanisms, anything that will help you to completely take control. Like I said again, it's not easy, and it's never going to be easy. It's always going to be something you have to fight. But I think once you realize that, and once you come to terms with the fact that it's something that you have to fight every single day, it does become easier in that sense, that you're preparing yourself every single day, and it makes you stronger. So my message for the end of the year is that I hope that anyone that suffers from any mental disorder, whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, whether it's bipolar, PTSD, any of these type of OCD, any of these type of diseases, I ask that you remember it's not a race, it's a marathon, and you are the only one that can continue fighting it. You can't give up. It's ultimately up to you that decides how far you're willing to go on this journey. I'm willing to go all the way to the end, and I'm always willing to fight every single day when I get up. I ask God every single day when I get up, the first words that come out of my mouth is, God, give me the strength to keep going. And that's what you have to do. You need to ask for the strength to keep going, because not any day, some days might be totally awesome and easy. And then there might be days like my Friday was, which was a complete mess. And the Saturday, it wasn't even better. But that's my point. At the end of the day of Saturday, when I got dressed and everything, I felt so much better after I spoke to my mom and my sister and let them in. And I was vulnerable with them and I shared my thoughts. So that's why I decided to share that with you. Because again, it is up to you that decides whether you're going to fight each and every single day. And it is up to you to keep a positive attitude. I know people kind of say that all the time. And I know that it sounds stupid and corny. Trust me, I feel the same way. I used to think the same way. But I also believe, and I truly, truly believe this in my heart, that if you allow the negativity to dwell, if you dwell for too long in that type of environment, it will destroy you. And you can't allow it to destroy you, because that's exactly what it wants to do. It wants to destroy you. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want, your life is too precious. Life is too beautiful. And yeah, I know about all the chaos that's going on in the world. But you know what? They're still beautiful. There's still beautiful things in life. So try to envision a new year filled with positive blessing, positive energy, positive thinking, positive coping skills. Make a list of things that you want to change, things you want to accomplish, and make them small, make them achievable. And every single time you do it, be positive that you did do it. And if you didn't get to do it this week, maybe tomorrow you'll be able to do it. Maybe the following week you'll be able to do it after that. But never give up. That's my point. I hope that this new year, when you start it, you remember you're worth it. And you can start the new year knowing that you can do anything. But you have to be willing to be the one to fight for it. So that is my message for this podcast or video. However you want to put it. You can like, share, subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Now, remember, you can, I have the bookstore, which is on Amazon.com, and there's a link on the YouTube page where you can find to buy journals, where you can buy puzzle books, maze books, adult coloring books to help you cope with different things. I encourage you to find music, take time to pray, meditate, exercise, do all kinds of things that will bring positive results in your life. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. I hope that when you celebrate New Year's, you remember that only you can try to change the bad things in your life. Only you can try to make the difference. and try also to be the change in the world. You know, being kind and being loving to individuals that are outside of your bubble doesn't hurt you or the people around you, but it might change somebody's life. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Till next year, I'll see you then. Bye.